Hi Chapel Hill kids. I am so excited to share some ideas I have for you with things that you definitely have around the house. I've been going through my pantry and looking for cardboard. The cardboard that works best are the kind of boxes that you get taco shells in, or crackers, or cookies, or dog bones. And it's really got some fun things to do with it. So I came up with a couple taco boxes, and what you do is you actually take them apart. They're pretty easy to just run my finger along here and pull them apart. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn them inside out. And before you pop them back together, you're gonna create them into buildings. So while they're flat, you can get your markers out and you can draw windows, you can draw doors, you could turn some buildings into fun stores, like an art store or a puppy store or a coffee shop or a Lego store. You can just really have fun with this. Each box can be its own building. Once you have the sides drawn, you can glue it back together, or you can just tape it. I've got some glue going with some clothespins. You're gonna fold those top flaps on the top back in, or cut them off. And then on the bottom, you're going to kind of flange them out. And maybe you can find a bigger piece of cardboard. I got a box to some sparkling waters that I had in the garage, and you can start gluing them down. Or maybe you just want to do these on a floor somewhere, maybe outside, maybe the garage, maybe the sidewalk, and turn them into cities. So you can just start building this up and turn it into a 3D city just using boxes. There's some really interesting boxes if you look and kind of pay attention. Ask your mom not to throw things out. This is oatmeal. I found lots of boxes right away in the pantry that you could just turn this into a really fun project. Speaking of fun projects, and kind of in a similar way, I have another idea. And if you've been in my art room for any length of time, we often do this in the art room with all my paper scraps. So whatever you have at home, whether it's nice construction paper or colored or not, or just even typing paper, just paper that you get from the copier, maybe it's magazine strips, newspapers, it really could be anything. What you're gonna do is you're gonna cut out shapes, and you're gonna turn all these shapes into like a playground or an amusement park. I think you remember doing this kind of thing. We do this oftentimes on a free art day. You need a little bit of tape, and you do need maybe another piece of cardboard to tape things down. You could tape down a curlicue and turn it into a roller coaster. This roller coaster could get hooked up to another one, and it could become this really elaborate roller coaster. Another fun idea, and I see kids just do this with their friends, so maybe rally your siblings or even a parent. You each can make a playground on your own cardboard piece, and then you could hook them together and make them just this huge amusement park. This could just be fun for hours. You can make swimming pools, you can make snack bars, you could make merry-go-rounds, you could make tilt-a-whirls, roller coasters. If you've been to Valley Fair, you could probably think of all the different rides that are there, and you could try to create them out of paper. So that's a really fun idea, a playground. Here's another thought. I got some really nice gifts for Mother's Day, and I don't want these bags anymore. So these are fun to maybe cut up. Sometimes there's a cool handle. What could this become? Maybe this arch could become a place where people walk through. That's the entrance, or it could hold a sign. All this shredded grass could become a really fun jungle. Even tissue paper, if you scrunch it up, could become little trees or bushes. So just being really creative with all the paper and the recyclables that are right around you is a really fun idea. I got one more idea for you that I know you'll enjoy as well. I have a couple shoes here, and I've got my crayons, and I've got just some copy paper. Again, this is just paper that comes right from the printer. So I'm gonna choose one of my shoes. This one looks really interesting. I'm gonna lay my paper on top. You could grab your mom's tennis shoe, you could grab your dad's shoe. And what you do is you just take a crayon and you rub it all across the bottom. Every shoe I have noticed has really interesting soles. So I'm rubbing it kind of carefully. I'm using lines that are close together, and I'm getting this really interesting texture. Now here's the challenge I have for you. After you've rubbed your shoe, I think, and you might see something different, but I think they could turn into some really wonderful fish. So, deciding which one is going to be the head and which one's the tail, you could take some markers and start to turn your shoe into a fish. Maybe you start with just an outline around the outside. Some of the patterns on your rubbing could become scales. Ooh, I see a really interesting shape here. That could be a really kind of a nifty stripe. And then maybe I'm going to start turning all these little lines into more scales. My fish needs an eye. Add some fins. Put a mouth on it. Maybe even want to turn it into a little lure. How many of your dads or uncles went fishing this weekend and got to see some really interesting fish? We had our boys go fishing and had some good fishing stories. Fish have gills, fish have fins, fish have all kinds of interesting patterns. You could change it up with colors. You could add things, turn it into like your own invented fish. That would be kind of fun. Maybe even give it a name. So shoe rubbings are really fun. They could even become other kinds of creatures. That's all I have for you today. We're getting close to the end of school. I hope that you're just getting out and getting away from the computer and just using your hands, using what's around you to create some really fun, creative projects. That's all for now. Hope to see you soon.